Alright, so let's try this again. This is take 3. Okay, so previously we've not done anything on National Park Girls in a while. It's been since about March. Episode 2 is actually started, just released today. Released a little late. Like I said, I was going to record yesterday, but I couldn't. So, let's get right into it, guys. The sound whips through the air. But from what and who? I look around, but I don't remember telling myself to turn my head like I'm a trapped observer in my own body. There are people crowding around me and gasping. There are trees too, a whole clearing of them in fact. A few of them are even lined up in a row. All of them dripping. Not with sap, not with water or dew, not as nature intended. It drips with fresh, green paint. It bleeds into the bark. I looked at the first tree and there's a tail from where I was standing. It looks like next to the next tree in the row. A long serpent-like body painted through it. No, my camera's in a bad spot. Hold on a second, let me fix that. I should fix that issue. This goes on for so long, for too long, each tree dripping paint down to the soil, entombing its roots. Then finally, at the last tree, there's the head of the dragon. It's wearing a baseball cap and smoking a blunt. I know it's a blunt, because the smoke is a lighter shade of green. Smoke that surrounds me, smoke that becomes fog.
Eve, what are you doing?
A voice springs out of the fog. I recognize it. Her? Jessie? Why does she sound scared? Why does she sound shocked? Why does she sound furious?
Teaching him a lesson!
Did I... Is that what I did? What did I do? On the ground, there's a man withering in the dirt, sobbing into a patch of grass. He's covering his mouth, his nose. Blood seeps through his fingers. Blood seeps into the dirt.
You bitch! What the hell? You broke my jaw! You broke my jaw!
His voice is muffled. The words tumble out in a panic.
Yeah? Well, your fucking neck is next! Don't you take another step!
My hand. I assume it's my hand. It's balled up into a fist. Blood speckles the knuckles. I open it up and stare at my palm. So what was that crack?
Oh God! It hurts! This is assault, you whore! I'll press charges! Sue you and this entire park!
Oh. Crack was the sound his face made when my fist hit it.
How about I work those charges up to murder, then?
Reels back, raising his hands to shield himself. The green paint staining his hands begins to mix the blood with blood. I start to stomp over to him. Stomp. Stomp. Stop! Stop!
Stop! You've gone too far this time, Eve! Not far enough. Not until he's learned some respect!
Stop. Jesse tackles me from behind, restraining me with a full Nelson.
Get off of me!
Please stop.
All you're doing is incriminating yourself. Now stand down!
No! I don't care anymore!
I elbow Jessie in her gut, struggling to break free, but her grip is like a locked chain. Someone stop her.
This is an order, Adams!
Someone stop me.
Eve!
Stop.
Eve!
Stop.
Eve!
I shoot up in bed. Sweat sticks to my pajamas. Breath trickles into my suffocated lungs as I gasp desperately for air. A pair of arms wrap around my body, chest. Around my around my chest like a constricted rope. With a few grunts, I wiggle to my side. My cheeks roll into a shallow pool of drool as I'm confronted with Yellowstone, murmuring face and buffalo print pajamas.
Administration is gonna flip your fries and malt.
Snug up to me, she's squeezing me tighter. I think I prefer Jessie putting me in a submission hold. I should put in a request for a door. Yellowstone gives an unconscious grunt, then snores onto the fabric of my shirt. Scratch that. I should put in a request for a door with a lock. I fall back into my pillow. Faded morning light glitters through the window, anchoring me to the present, where my worst mistakes are behind me, just over my shoulder, but still behind me. The mini volcano, protruding from Yellowstone's head, puffs out light dots of smoke, matching the rhythm of the breath. I follow the smoke until it dissipates into the padding of the ceiling. From there, I count the wind beams that run across it. There's some nightmares we relive every day.
That's it. I'm switching to decaf before bed.
That caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. Amazing. Somehow managed to look mildly more dead inside than usual. I poke at the resting crow's feet that I have nested in the deep bags beneath my eyes. There's a brief lightning strike of panic, a moment where the blades of mortality slap me across the face, but it subsides, and I swallow most of my emotions with a yawn. Close one. I'm just tired, but at least I'm not exhausted. Not today, not even yesterday, in fact. I slip on my uniform and button my shirt. My badge is pinned to my chest, crooked and clinging to the wrinkly fabric. It might distinguish my authority as a ranger, but in the end, it's just a hunk of metal. People generally get the message once they see that hat and the khakis.
Don't forget about the dishes, Yellowstone.
I'll hop right on it. Yellowstone, is my oatmeal ready yet? I hope it has raisins. I like those. All the raisins you want, cutie. Just need a sec.
Elson zips across the cabin, a stack of dishes teetering on her head as she bends to grab the trash and loose clothes. Hunched over the table, Yosemite flips a page in whatever tome she's reading today. Her first glued to her chin. A castle of stacked nooks girding next to her elbow. Zion sits crisscross applesauce on the floor, stroking Pup's coarse fur, his bony frame curled up on his brand new doggy bed. Pup stretches, his silent yawn shaping into a faint howl. Or coyote bed, I should guess. I step out of my corner of the cabin right as Yellowstone comes charging past the divider curtain. Our foreheads crack together, skin and stone colliding. A rough edge of her volcano scrapes my forehead. I stumble back, my hands jerk up to soothe the pain. But a leaning tower of dishes slides toward me before they shatter. Before my very eyes, I push him against Yellowstone's head jolt. So to balance the plates. One sticks out like a Jenga piece, otherwise no damage.
Holy smokes! I'm so sorry. I was gearing up for laundry and I wasn't thinking and...
Yellowstone.
I grab her shoulders and cut off her babbling.
It's okay. I'm only slightly irritated.
Her skin is pale enough to make me think her soul has been sucked from her body.
Nuh-uh, no way. I goofed. What if you got cut? Then Yosemite would yell at me and I'd need to scrub the blood off before it stains and oh no. Coffee.
Panic pumps Back into her.
Jeez, not good, not good.
Color. She curls her hand into a fist and swats her pocket and the dishes wobble over.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
And over.
Why do I keep screwing things up?
And over.
This is not Hippy Skippy!
English. Now.
I forgot to make your coffee, Eve.
This is almost too exhausting for me to deal with. I might even laugh if I didn't look like her heart was about to swan dive over her chest.
Is that it? Don't get so worked up. I can do it myself.
Really? You're not gonna give me a knuckle sandwich? Because I'd give me a knuckle sandwich.
She raises her fist to clunk herself over the head again. Yosemite glances up, more interested in polishing off the pages she's on than anything around her.
Hey, quit it.
She stuffs her nose back into her book.
And don't forget about the laundry.
Concerned, Zion whips around to look at us. For at least the 20th time this week, I found myself wondering how such a small girl can hold so much panic.
Please don't hurt yourself. It makes me sad.
She doesn't hit herself, but everything else they said must have gotten drowned out. Yellowstone's eyes swim in their sockets, landing on random corners of the room, like something is about to leap out of her and eat her.
You holding up okay?
Her eyes flutter, then focus on me. She grins and shoots me a thumbs up of proof enough for me that she never hopped off her usual non-stop sugar rush.
Yup, just dandy. That's just a little sore from when you shoved me out of bed.
I slop past her, pushing out one last yawn as I start for the kitchen.
Stay out of my bed. I'm not the cuddling type.
Aw, but your bed is so soft and cozy. Just like you, dollface.
I'm not sure which one I feel first, my eye twitching or my cheeks burning. It's all made worse by Yosemite sneaking behind the safety of her book, the coward.
Can it, before I pour coffee in your head.
What's the matter? Big bad ranger gaining a little weight? Does she not have abs of steel?
No, but she has fists of them.
The scariest thing about that threat is how stale it's gotten.
I have to sink and ignore her, choosing to fill up the percolator. I cannot read it. I cannot read. Instead, it's not my fault. Yellowstone uses a stick of butter in all her cooking.
Say, do you care if I rake up all your dirty clothes? It's laundry day.
Laundry? What a novel concept.
Yosemite mumbles loud enough for the point to get across. Yellowstone's smile fades and her gaze droops down.
Go ahead. Knock yourself out.
With pleasure.
The only one that sounds different this time is Yosemite. She sounds a little like there's stuff in the back end of her microphone, I guess, when she recorded for her voice. She slinks behind the corner. Zion watches intently, observing Yellowstone as she gathers up my clothes. With Zion's attention drawn away, and in desperate need for more morning pets, Pup hops out of bed and braves the world. He buries his snout in my legs. I let the percolator, fill up with water, and bend over to scratch his ears. He leans in, grunting in ecstasy, his ears flopping up and down like a flag in the wind. If fucking some in the face gets me a suspension and banished here, then I can only imagine what Jessie would do if she found out I wasn't just feeding Pup, but housing him as well. I crank on the stove and pour in the coffee grounds. I gaze out the window, waiting for the coffee to boil. Across the road and past the field, I spot the butt end of a motorhome big enough for me to know someone is compensating for something. Even when muffled by a wall of trees, their argument carries across the clearing. I like that it says today's idiot. I feel that. I feel that 100%. I mean, oh, what? Definitely married. Those germ checks are publicly funded miracles. Do I willing? Ungrateful. Yep.
Just listen to them, pup.
His ears perk up, his head tilts. I think he's listening to me instead. He looks at me instead.
They'd rather sleep in a tin can than a tent. How do you mess up camping that bad?
Pop paws my leg. A desperate plea for pets. Absolutely. But I have a desperate need for validation, so I think this is a reasonable trade-off.
Idiots. The hookup is at the campground. How much longer do you think it'll be until they decide to dump the septic tank?
I think a better question is how much longer you're going to use your nihilism as a security blanket.
Until they're all dead.
I have 7 billion pieces of bad news for you, and you're one of them.
Coffee boils over the spout and dribbles down the percolator. I twist off the stove and bring my boiling pot of sunshine over to the table.
Keep patronizing. If a tiny forest fire makes you come down with a fever, I can't wait to find out how bad you smell when Mr. and Mrs. Crisis Counseling decide trash cans are too complicated.
I reach for the dirty mug, balancing on top of the 5 others, like I've done thousands of mornings before. I pour the still simmering coffee.
Just what do you think you're doing?
3 drips already speckling the cup.
Pouring coffee.
Into a dirty cup?
Faint ring of yellow residue circles around the middle.
Looks fine to me.
But I just drank out of it.
I'm not skipping my morning coffee because of your slobber.
I pour the rest into it till it's nearly slops over the edge of the cup. Keeping my eyes locked on Yosemite, I take the first sip.
I can't believe you! You are so gross!
Aren't you the one who uses the same tea bag over and over because you don't want to be wasteful?
Yeah, but that's different.
Yosemite caresses her forehead, a pink glow gradient her cheeks.
What if I get your germs, huh? We can't just go swapping saliva like that, you know.
I think you have your information mixed up.
Yosemite gives a tired sigh. Any hint of embarrassment has been replaced by exhausted certainty.
What are you talking about? Of course I don't. Everyone knows germs are exchanged between both parties whenever body fluids come into contact.
I think the only germ any of us need to worry about catching is your ego.
Ooh. I wonder if she just feels obligated to know more than everyone else, even when she's wrong. Like, being smart is her cross to bear. Even if she's a smart aleck and a know-it-all. I've come to not like, but appreciate Yosemite. Yeah, that works. I appreciate Yosemite.
So, how long do you plan on letting the breeding pair struggle out there before helping?
Until they go away, or my shift starts. Whichever comes first.
We glance to the weather, yelling continues blending in with the damp... Wait. Blending in with the chirps... I can't read. With the chirps of morning birds.
Isn't teaching these people how to not mess things up your, I don't know, job?
Open 2 packets. Sweetener, I find buried beneath Yosemite's research. She gives me a dirty look for digging around in her crap, but I just ignore and pour them in my coffee.
I signed up to protect and preserve. It's not my job to teach these people. Especially when they care so little about the parks, they couldn't even be bothered to do a little research.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not. But weren't you the one who sent those kids to a fire safety course after that incident a few weeks back?
But I'm not the one teaching that course, am I?
So you're just going to let them keep making mistakes?
Don't make it sound so innocent. It's ignorance, plain and simple. You can't teach people to appreciate the things they have. They either already do or they learn it on their own. If they can't, that person is just defective.
I take a wild guess at which one most people are.
How come you're defending them anyway? What happened to your lectures about the dangers of humanity?
I wiggle my finger like a ghostly specter, then throw back a couple of gulps of goodnight coffee.
They were never lectures on the dangers of humanity. They were lectures on complacency, real ignorance, particularly in relation to people in power, like rangers. You say you're sick of cleaning up people's messes. Then teach them how to avoid making them to begin with. Or do you not want to protect and preserve?
Smirk creeps from the corner of her mouth. Smug and irritating, but her eyes are narrowed, stern and genuine. God, I hate it when she has a point.
No one should be allowed to be as smarmy as you know that?
Yet here I am.
Yeah, but can you disappear?
You're just upset because I'm onto something.
What you're on is a tangent.
I slip away the book, resting beneath her arms, mostly because I know that if I don't, the verbal thrashings are going to wear down any arguments I have. And my ego just can't handle that today.
And what is it even that you're educating yourself with?
For the title of the sleek paperback cover, dog's ears bending from the corner and the sides for multiple read-throughs, it feels like the pages might fall out if I give it a good enough shake.
The Human Mind, God and Architect by Dr. Angela Merrick. Sounds like some New Age trash to me.
Give that back! It's valuable research!
She wrenches it from my hand before I even get a chance to comply, then cradles it close to her chest. I raise a very doubtful eyebrow.
Dr. Merrick was a road paver who time just hasn't caught up with yet.
If my eyebrows had muscles, they would be getting an intense workout.
She argued that the human consciousness, or rather, the collective consciousness of mankind, was powerful enough to create.
She says this like it's common knowledge, and I mean, maybe it is to crazy people.
Create what?
Hello?
Create what?
She doesn't have voice. Voice coon.
Uh-huh. And
Okay, anything, things, places, maybe even entire worlds, all without ever even knowing it. All that energy needs to go somewhere, right?
create what? Uh-huh. And what evidence is all this based off?
Her own eyewitness accounts and analysis. Even though she was blind.
Oh, honey.
What?
You got suckered.
I did not!
So hard.
Shut up.
Sure. You've already said more than enough. It all sounds like,
Hogwash?
See? She's got it.
Yellowstone, be quiet. I'm trying to open Eve's puny mind.
We're then ready to take another stab at her, a sharp one. Then Yellowstone gets the first word in before me.
Well, actually, I was wondering if I could start rinsing off dishes.
She dwells her fingers together, shifting her eyes to the ground away from Yosemite's hawkish stare. I think she might actually be scared of her.
About time. All right, take them two at a time. I don't want to see any of them break. Like someone's scope of thought.
Why are you so interested in what a quack has to say anyway?
2 by 2, Yellowstone takes the mugs, while the handles resting them on in a bed of bubbly water flow in the sink.
Because that quack gave me a theory.
What kind of theory? Like, involving your research?
I lean closer, my voice dropping to a hush whisper. Even though there's no secret to be kept, even though I really couldn't care much less than I do. Already, and that's not much at all. It's just a small amount, really.
About where you three might have come from?
Something to that effect. Let's consider, just for a moment, that if enough people feel strongly about something, then they really do create some kind of, I don't know, physical embodiment of it?
Doubtful, but I'll suspend my disbelief.
So wouldn't it stand to some kind of reason that since strong feelings, and as a result, cultural perceptions, shift with time, the physical results of it would change too?
What are you getting at?
Her face is flushed again. Wonder if this is her first time saying all this out loud. Does she hear how ridiculous this is?
What if those physical results are us?
My spine tingles. The realization that those girls are something different emerges from the first time in the days. I'm practically with them all the time now, so I've gotten used to it. But the idea that they're not flesh and blood like me, but flesh, blood, stone, feathers, and volcanic rock too, it makes this truce we have seem utterly ridiculous. I'm playing house with 3 fairies, sprites, ghosts. Apologies, ma'am. I wasn't aware it was against protocol to house fairy type creatures in our post. But don't they look like real girls, though?
So, what? You think Zion here is gonna go through park puberty in a couple of years? Maybe sprout up by 2 feet?
Zion blinks, glances back and forth, then points to herself as if to confirm. Yes, we really are talking about the same Zion. Yosemite scoots back to her inner chair, eyes wide and distant, like I just plucked at her nerve. When her ears flatten, I can tell the conversation has hit its wall.
Puberty would be more forgiving.
Nelson comes back around for the last mug.
Done with your coffee? It's cool if you aren't, but if you are, then can I nab it? I mean, as long as I'm not rushing you to choke it down, but if it's cool beans, then...
Go ahead. It's cold now, but you can drink whatever's left in the cup.
Nelson bounces nervously, the kind of shaking I get when I go a day without coffee. It's like her personality has been flipped on its head. She still has boundless energy, but now it's all neurotic and buzzed up. And the cup off to Yellowstone. She brings me a mug to her lips, tilting it back.
Stop drinking out of the same cup!
Yosemite dives across the table. She slams down in front of me. Her hand stops just short of the mug. Nelson jumps stirred by the crack of Yosemite's flopping on the table. The mug falls and shatters. Upstairs rise to attention. There's a quick sliver of silence as we stare at the broken pieces.
Go get the dustpan, Yellowstone.
Why is she being such a skank? Static crackles over the radio. The familiar chirp of Jesse's voice is bright enough for me to want to draw the curtains on it. Up Adam, Ranger. The forest doesn't sleep, and neither do we. She drones on, but all of our attention has turned to Yellowstone, her eyes drawn down. Puffs of smoke blot out of her. The air above her, rising from her head like a stack of exhaust. Her fists clenched together. I hear them crack. Her arms tense until they shake.
I'll get it later.
A stiff whisper, quite enough for me to be unsure if I heard it right. Yellowstone zaps out of sight. Gusts of wind twirls around us, tossing loose papers from the table. Then there's just empty space.
Wakey, wakey! Excellent potential disciplinary action, Eve!
As Zion looks up the Yosemite, concerned, swimming in her eyes.
What's wrong with Yellowstone? She's not acting like herself.
She's fine. Don't be pulled in by the theatrics. She's just being a brat.
Yosemite goes back to reading, occasionally grumbling. Zion looks at me. The best I can offer is a shrug.
Don't ask me what's normal around here.
All right. I stand up and stride over to the radio, picking up in the middle of one of Jesse's threats, masked by good cheer.
This pretty light-up pen on my desk is ready to write you up if you don't answer by the count of 5. 1 Mississippi.
This is Ranger Adams, and you can't fire me. I already have a letter of resignation. Over.
My shredder is more than ready for it.
What do you want, Jesse? I'm trying to enjoy the peace before throwing myself at the mercy of the general public.
I just thought you might want to hear from your favorite supervisor.
Funny, you had the same thought yesterday, and the day before that.
Just making sure you aren't boarded up in that cabin, hiding your pretty face from the rest of the world.
She hides the next bit under her cough.
And to let you know you're on trash duty today.
Like hell! I'm on patrol this week, not sweeping up cigarette butts.
Don't be such a diva. You're just taking the trash out of bins that are already filled up. Hardly community service.
What happened to the usual guy? Simmons or something?
Dead mother-in-law, he says. 5th one this year by my count.
Tragic.
Best I hear sounds like wind coming through the speaker.
Every trash can in the meadows, I'm guessing? There has to be an easier way to do this. Don't the Grand Teton guys have a sensor in all their cans? Something that pops up on their tablets when everything's full.
I hear it rains manna in Grand Teton too. But that doesn't stop our year-round fire season down here, and that eats up most of the budget. Sorry, sweetie, but you'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Elbow grease and all.
It's not elbow grease I'm gonna be covered in once I'm finished.
But you will be filled with pride in a job well done. Just remember to lather and rinse with cold water.
I just count button, making sure my girl doesn't travel through the radio waves and give her another reason to scold me. But her voice drops to a bit of sympathy, almost as if she could hear me anyway.
Do this for me and I'll bring some new snacks the next time we catch up. I have teriyaki jerky! Your favorite!
Her voice glides along in a melody like Bradbury is a surefire way to my heart. And I mean, yeah, it is, but she could be less obvious about it.
Make it 2 bags and it's a 10-4.
You've got yourself a deal, Ranger. Have fun! Over and out.
Yep.
Alright. This is where we're going to save, actually. We'll finish this off on... We'll do 30-minute increments, so we'll finish this when we get to it. So thank you guys for watching. I'm Godly Killer, and this has been National Park Girls, the start of Eve's new job, you know. And the return I've been waiting on. I've been really excited for this for a while now, and, you know, I'm hoping you guys enjoy this series, and I hope you guys take a chance at playing the game yourself.